Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another Borderlands 3 video. What an awesome day this has been for Borderlands fans. We got to learn so much about the game from the new Mask of Mayhem trailer, but there's one downside to it. It's that at the very end of the trailer, they zoom out on the mask, and because trailer quality is very limited, when we try to zoom back in and see everything on the mask itself, it gets really low res and really hard to make out what we're looking at. Well, since then, a new image has come out, a super high res image of the mask. And guys, we can see so much more than what we saw previously. So right here is going to be the image, and as you can see, when we zoom in, we don't really lose that much quality. It's obviously not perfect, but we can make out a lot more than what we could see previously. And guys, there is so much more to this mask than what we saw during the trailer. But before we go any further, I want to let you guys know that I am recording my editing software right now. So if the video looks frame ratey, that's why. It's because I'm recording my editing software right now, but I want to do it this way so we can zoom in together and just look at everything that there is to see and point out everything that I was able to find so far. Let's kick things off here by talking about the Vault Hunters. We all kind of wondered during the trailer, who is this lady right here, right? She kind of looks like Janie Springs a little bit, but apparently she's going to be the fourth Vault Hunter because they appeared together in the trailer, then here at the very end, they're all appearing together once again. Now, going back to the trailer just for a second, there was a secret message in there in Morse code, and when you translate it, it says to count the sirens, which is really interesting because Handsome Jack revealed that there can only be 6 sirens in the universe at one time, right? Otherwise, the universe basically implodes, and it's telling us to count the sirens, which is really strange. So going back to it, this appears to be one of those sirens, even though she has no tattoos, which is odd, but the playable siren in Borderlands 3 is going to be one of these 6 sirens, right? Then, of course, we have Lilith, we have Maya, but who are going to be the remaining 3? Well, one of them apparently is going to be this lady right here. If we go back to the trailer once again, we see her there with her brother, and the leaks are suggesting that they're called the Calypso twins, but notice how she has wings behind her, which are a trademark, iconic staple of sirens everywhere, right? And if we go back to the mask, we see those same wings are on Lilith, so that seems to suggest that she's also going to be a siren, which is really strange. So apparently one of the evil bads of Borderlands 3 is going to be a siren, and if we go all the way down here by the Atlas sign, which, side note, it looks like our boy is going to be back. Looks like Reese is going to be returning at some point. But we also see Zero as well as Maya. And notice how Maya has longer hair. Well, if we go here to the left of that, and we're going to zoom in for you guys here just to make this a little bit easier to see. There we go. Apologies, I'm doing this across 2 monitors right now. But we see that Maya character handing a book off to a child, which kind of seems to signify like one siren passing your knowledge off to another siren, right? So is this going to be the 5th siren? If we actually zoom out of this and go all the way up towards the center of the mask, we're going to see that same character yet again, but notice how there are no wings, right? So if this is a siren, where are the wings? But if we go over here, we see a different character who looks very similar, roughly the same age, but this character has gauged ears, a little bit of a different hairdo, and then wings, which is really strange. So are these twins? Are they both sirens? Obviously, it's not going to be the Calypso twins because boys can't be sirens, if you guys don't know. So this looks like the male Calypso twin who has the gauges in there but can't be a siren. Then this is going to be the female one who apparently is going to be a siren. So that's definitely interesting. The trailer is suggesting that sirens are going to be a very big deal, and apparently, there's going to be 6 of them alive at one time, which means probably one of them is going to have to die, otherwise the universe is going to implode if another one were to randomly appear somehow. So that's definitely pretty interesting. Now, I'd love to hear what you guys think about that down there in the comments. But going back to it, let's go ahead and zoom in on her one more time. This appears to be the siren character that we're going to have, and we actually see her a lot here on this mask. If we go down here, we see her yet again holding a giant revolver. She looks a lot like Mercy, actually, from Overwatch, if I'm being honest. And then we also see her all the way down here in the center on this little motorcycle, right? And you may think, well, that's a weird looking motorcycle, but if we zoom out just a little bit, notice how it's one big tire, right? This is going to be a new vehicle, I would assume, in this game, which is really cool. Now, obviously, in the background there, we see Moxie's bar, and I can zoom in on that for you guys, but again, once we get this far in, we are starting to lose a lot of quality, but that might be Hammerlock right there. I can't quite tell. Obviously, there's going to be Moxie there. Is she in a bikini? On top of her bar right there, which is pretty interesting. And what's also weird is we have a a skag riding a rack right there, which is very strange. But going up here, we're going to see lots of little things, right? We see a lot of these different bandits and stuff like that fighting what appear to be Crimson Raiders, maybe even Crimson Lance. I'm not even entirely sure, but if we keep on going up here, and I'm actually going to zoom out here just for a second to kind of get my bearings. It's so easy to zoom super far in and kind of lose where you are. We actually find an Easter egg in regards to Tannis, and I find that to be one of the most interesting things of this mask. There it is. Let's zoom in on it right here. If you guys didn't hear about it, which chances are maybe a lot of you guys haven't because it's strictly due to Battleborn, and Battleborn wasn't exactly the most popular game, but there was Morse code in Battleborn, which, as you guys can see, says to visit Promethea, and that Tannis is not what she seems. Then here, we see Tannis next to what looks like Roland, but I don't think it is, because there's a scar on the lip there, and Roland didn't have that, so maybe just like a random Crimson Lance soldier there. But to her left is an iconic-looking villain guy, right? A pockmarked face, crazy hair, weird scientist-looking dude. Maybe this is going to be Tannis' father, and maybe he's actually like one of the evil guys in this game, because he looks like a pretty evil character here, just based on what we see here during the mask. But one thing's for sure, Tannis is going to play a pretty big role in Borderlands 3. But zooming out here, I want to point this out to you guys, because I thought it was really interesting, but now, just because I'm trying to look for it, I'm not going to be able to find it. Where was it? Right there. Right here next to Claptrap. Notice how there's very specifically a giant M logo here. Either that's going to be the faction, like maybe the evil faction, maybe it's a new friendly faction, maybe it's going to be a new corporation. We really have no idea, but there's a giant M right there. And right next to the M, can we just zoom in on this just for a second? What is this thing supposed to be here? It looks like, if you've ever played WoW, it looks like a wyvern, but with sunglasses and a trucker hat, which is like, what the heck? I mean, look at the little tiny legs it has, and the kind of big arms, and the long fingers, and then the sunglasses, and the hat, and the big beard. Like, what is that supposed to be exactly? I have no idea, but that's pretty cool. If we go down here, we see who appears to be Vaughn. We saw him during the trailer. Then we see this character right here. And if we go all the way over here to the left, let's see if I can find it. Do I go up or down? Nope, right here. There's going to be Axton. So Axton's back, and I have scoured this entire image. Let me zoom out. I have scoured this entire image. I cannot for the life of me find Krieg, and it's bothering me because you guys know Krieg is by far my favorite character in Borderlands. He's so freaking cool. He better be in the game. But we did see that a number of the Vault Hunters from Borderlands 2 are going to return, so that's pretty cool. And here we get a better look at Tiny Tina, who is definitely grown up. She was 13 in Borderlands 2, and she's now much bigger. So I have to wonder how many years have passed between Borderlands 2 and Borderlands 3. From the judge of Tiny Tina here, it could be anywhere from like 3 to 5 or 6 or 7 years, something like that. She's a lot bigger than she was in Borderlands 2, which is definitely pretty interesting. But, ladies and gentlemen, that might be all for right now in terms of things I've spotted. Like right here is going to be the Beastmaster Vault Hunter. Let's zoom in on him. I mean, I think this may actually be the loader bot from Tales from the Borderlands. I mean, look at the leg. That's very clearly like a robot here. The Beastmaster Vault Hunter is going to be a robot, but the question is it going to be our robot? Is it going to be loader bot from Tales from the Borderlands? I really hope so. Right here, we just see more fighting between bandits and like Crimson Raiders and stuff like that. Let's zoom up here a little bit. I'm hoping oh, here's a vehicle. I actually forgot to mention this. So check out this little vehicle right here. I know it's super low res, but it looks like a bandit technical, right? But on the sides of it, these are either going to be wings or giant blades to basically mow things down, right? Which is very interesting. Actually, this was what was super zoomed in now I think about it during the trailer, because right here's the one Vault Hunter and then behind her, and okay, that makes a little bit more sense, but it looks like the bandit technicals are going to be a little bit different. And speaking of technicals, if I could find her, we're so zoomed in right now, I might want to zoom out just a little bit to make it easier, but Ellie is around here somewhere. Where is Ellie? Ellie, I'm trying to find, there she is, there's Ellie. Now, what's interesting about her is she has a lot of armor on, but notice how she's holding what looks to be a ship of some sort. Now, because of this, some people are starting to theorize that this means she's going to be building the ship that takes us to Promethea, and all signs are pointing to us going towards Promethea in Borderlands 3, so that's definitely going to be pretty cool. But ladies and gentlemen, just once again, there is so much to this mask. I'll have a link to the image down there in the description so you guys can like zoom in for yourselves and look around, and man, there's so much to this, and I don't want to get too deep here today because obviously the official reveal is tomorrow at PAX, and that's going to be pretty freaking cool. But man, I have a feeling this image is going to reveal a lot, and I have a feeling we're going to keep coming back to this image over the course of the weeks and months and however long it's going to take until Borderlands 3 comes out, because there's a lot to it right here. I want to know how many sirens are actually here. What's going on with this kid right here with the mask and the wings behind? What's up with this other kid over here who is seen receiving a book from Maya? How are the characters from Borderlands 2 going to tie into this game? What about details from the Borderlands characters? There are so many questions we have right now, guys, and I am very freaking excited about that. I'm actually seeing another battle here. Let's zoom in here really quickly, and if I can actually control my mouse, here it is. This appears to be yet another one of those battles between the Vault Hunters and then I guess either Raiders, or maybe this is going to be the evil faction. They have like swords and stuff like that. We actually see a couple of characters with that dangling down over here. Let's see. Yeah, like right here. You see these like little sword things. So I think these are going to be like the new bad guys. Notice the horns and stuff like that. There's so much we can read into, guys. There is so much we could possibly read into here today, but there's going to be the giant mask, and there's, oh man, I'm so excited about Borderlands 3. I cannot wait for that official reveal. I'm still undecided as to how I'm going to handle the reveal, whether I'm going to live stream it tomorrow live, or if I'm going to be like, you know, just recording it and then making videos afterwards. We're going to see. And did I mention this? I'm pretty sure I did, but just to be sure, we're going to zoom in one more time because I just noticed it again. There's Marcus. Marcus is confirmed to be coming back. We kind of knew that already, but there's Marcus. I want to make sure you guys saw that to point out that Marcus is in fact going to be returning. But yeah, man, I can't wait for that reveal. It's going to be so freaking cool, and just expect many more videos here in Nearest Let's Plays. But until then, I hope you guys will enjoy this video. If you did, please drop me a rating, and I hope you guys all have a wonderful day.